So hi guys, a very good afternoon to you all, and welcome to this weekly market intelligence with me. My name is Geoffrey, you also know me as Wall Street Puppy. So welcome to this weekly market intelligence as we get to look at what it is we are anticipating for this trading week, right? So we have quite a bit of opportunities and also quite a bit of uncertainty and volatility due to the current ongoing geopolitical tensions between US, Israel, and Iran. So it's really affecting the markets heavily in terms of the currencies, the indices, and also commodities like crude oil and Brent oil, which you're going to have a good look at, and also commodities like gold and silver as well. You have seen the kind of massive drops that they've had. But let's get to have a look at that and see what it is we are anticipating for or looking out for this week. So welcome on board and let's get into it. So starting off, let me have GBP. Let me start off with Euro, GBP USD, and Euro USD. Then I go progressing on into the rest of the other pairs. So starting off, we have GBP USD right here. So this is what we currently have. We've had a very nice rally all the way to these highs. All right. We have these highs up here. All right. But remember the major range is from this supply. The major range is from this supply up here, right? So from this supply all the way down to this demand and back, right? We had price comes back, we have this, so we might see this then another potential push to the upside all the way back to all the way back to these major supply, the areas of 1.35, back to the areas of 1.35, 320 areas, right? So we have that. I'm anticipating to see price rally to the areas of 1.35 through 20 areas. So it's something that I'm closely monitoring to see how price reacts to this. Okay. So we have that on GBP USD. I'm anticipating to see a potential top of these areas of 1.33500 before a potential bullish push to these areas of 1.35 300 areas, right? So we have that. Let's observe and see how price gets to react to this. Okay. Then we have a look at Euro USD. Probably let's even do USD CHF. So USD CHF currently, this is what you have here. This is on the 4-hour time frame. Price rallied into a very major level of supply because this is a previous demand. Then it becomes supply. So these are working range from this supply all the way down into this demand. Then you have from this demand all the way to this supply. Then a retracement, price comes back into this supply like that. All this consolidation. Now, look at the kind of scenario we are seeing here. We had a fake breakout, price drops back into the zone. Consolidation, then a whole strong bearish engulfing candle. Then here you have a bit of consolidation again. So what I'd anticipate or expect to see is a potential bearish reversal where we have a candle close forms below this structure. And you have something like this, where a candle forms below the zone, then a retest before a potential bearish reversal. So I'm anticipating to see, or I'm looking at a potential bearish reversal on this. Okay, I'm looking at a potential bearish reversal for USD CHF and price pushing to the downside, right? So we have that for USD CHF, and that is on the 4-hour. If you check out the daily time frame as well, this has been a very key area of interest. Okay, this has been a very key area of interest. So this is what we have. So price gets to this level, then you see a potential push to the downside like that, right? All the way down. So you have seen multiple rejections inside this area, and now we are looking to see a potential reversal, right? So we have that. Let's observe and see how price gets to react to, I mean, let's observe and see how price gets to react to this, all right? So that is why I'm looking at a potential bearish reversal on that. Then we have Euro USD. Uh, Euro USD, this is what we have. So for Euro USD, currently this is the range we're working with from these supply down to this demand and back to this supply, that range was filled. Same case from this supply down to this demand back to the supply that range was filled. So when price comes back here, I want to see potential push back into this demand before we see if this demand will hold or if it will break above and keep pushing higher. So it's something to closely observe and see how price reacts to this. But that is what I'm anticipating to see, a potential bullish push back to that areas of 1.16320 or even 1.16400 400 areas, right? So we have that. Let's observe and see. Let's observe and see how price reacts to this for Euro USD. Then let's have a look at USD CAD. USD CAD, like that. So for USD CAD, this is what this is what you have. So you've had a range from this supply all the way down to this, back to the highs, price comes down, back to the highs, price comes back to demand. Then from demand, a strong rally all the way back to supply. This supply, if this supply holds, then definitely we'll anticipate to see, because this supply was the previous origin of this drop. So we'll anticipate to see a potential bearish push like that. Okay, so that is what we will be anticipating. That is what we will be anticipating to see, a potential bearish reversal from that area, that levels of 1.37 for 50 areas within that structure, right? So we have that on USDCAD. Then let's have a look at NZD USD. Right, let's have a look at NZD USD. Is NZD USD. So price also for this one is still consolidating within this demand area here. But these are very key area of interest because I'll be looking out for a potential bullish reversal from here. So the rally all the way to this, the drop down to this demand as well. So this is a very good area for potential bullish opportunity. And price rallying to this first structure, which is basically the mid range at the areas of 0.59, the areas of 0.59 500 areas, right? So we have that. Let's observe and see how price gets to react to this. I'm looking at a potential bullish reversal from this area and price rallying to the areas of 0.59500 as the first area of interest. Then the next area of interest will be now price breaking above that mid-range of 0.59500 and rallying higher to the areas of levels like 0.6500 areas, because now that is the major range that you're working with. Remember, this is the major range of the daily time frame. We previously held this drop all the way from here. That was from the 9th of Feb all the way down to this. So it was more like a 4 week, it was more like a 4 week swing that we had on that one. Okay. So it was more like a 4 week swing that we had on that one. So this was quite a very good setup. Okay. Then mhm, we have that on NZD USD. Then let's have a look at we have that on NZD USD. Then let's have a look at Euro GBP. I actually have very good positions on Euro GBP right here. So this is what you have on Euro GBP. Actually, for this one, I'm looking at a potential bullish reversal. So from here, the rally again all the way back to this. Then the stops be somewhere there like that. So this is what we are working with like that. All right. So price dropped into this demand. All right. Price dropped all the way down into this demand. We had consolidation, a push to the upside. We have a strong push to the upside. Price forms a higher high. Price comes back to retest demand. This will have been the perfect area, but still one can even be able to take these even from current price. Then a potential push to the upside and price rallying back to the origin of these previous drop. See where this price has been dropping from each time. So it's coming back to the origin of that drop, which is now the supply area at 0.87380 areas, right? So you have that, anticipate a potential bullish reversal and a bullish push to that. Then let's have a look at US oil and UK oil and see how they're being affected by the current geopolitical tensions happening in Iran between Iran and US. So there is crude oil. Now, yesterday, President Donald Trump mentioned that he's gonna suspend strikes on Iran for the next 5 days. Now, that is where it caused the prices of oil to drop from these highs all the way down to current price at 101. Chances are high. I'm looking at this from two scenarios. We either see price push to the downside all the way down to this before now a potential bullish reversal, or we see price, reacting from here. Okay, we see price reacting from here, then a potential bullish push like that, right? So we have that. Let's observe. We have that. Let's observe and see how price gets to. We have that. Let's observe and see how price reacts to. Let's observe and see how price gets to react to this. Okay. So a potential bullish push to the upside and price rallying all the way to these areas of 117.5, right? So let's observe and see how price reacts to that. Then for oil as well, US oil, this is what you have. So now if I come to the 4 hour time frame, this is the kind of scenario that you have. So we had a very sharp rally to the areas of 119 up here. Now we've been above these demand for quite a while, and this is where we are looking at a potential bullish push, but instead we have had a sharp drop like this to these areas. So I don't see this. We have already seen a retest, so I don't see price push back to these areas of 100. Yeah, okay. I don't see price push back to those areas of 100. Okay. So we have that. Let's observe and see. Let's observe and see how price gets to react to this. Okay. Let's observe. Let's observe and see how price gets to. How price gets to react to this. Okay. So we have that. Okay. We have that on US oil. Then let's have a quick look at gold and silver. Then I'll get into the indices. Now is on US 30. So where is silver? This is where silver is at. So let me start off with gold. So with gold, the first time we talked about this drop happening was at this area here. That was last week on Monday when price was here. We've seen a very massive drop all the way down to this. Now price is recovering from these areas. We've seen a sharp rally to this. Price is currently at this area. So this is demand. I expect to see a push to the upside back to this area. The moment price gets to this structure, now here you can see probably a potential bearish push or a break above because these are very key. It's a very key area of interest. Okay, it's a very key area of interest, and this on the 4 hour time frame. So the first area of interest to observe, anticipate a potential bullish push to this area. 4500, 4523 areas. The moment price gets here, then now we either observe and see if we'll see a break above or we will see something like this. So let's observe and see how price reacts to that on gold, but this is a very nice drop. Then for silver as well, same kind of scenario. So for silver here, we have this kind of scenario. So on top of this, then a push to the downside. Okay. So we had price breaking below this key demand. This is a very key area of demand based off this like that. So this was more of, and the last time we were discussing this price was here. So a whole drop like this. So it should be a breakout retest, then continuation. Should be a breakout retest continuation of the drop lower for this one, right? So we have that. We have that for silver, right? We have that for silver. Then now let's have a look at the indices, NAS and US 30. So here you have Nasdaq, and US 30. Mhm. There it is. So starting off with Nasdaq. For Nasdaq, we had already the targets of 23,800 were hit. We have seen a strong bullish reversal, price retracing, so I don't see potential push to the upside all the way back to the supply. Okay, all the way back to the supply areas of 25,000, all the way down. So I don't see a potential bullish push back to the supply of 25,000 areas. Right? For that is for Nasdaq. Then for US 30, hmm, for US 30, this is what you have. So these on the daily, right here. So on the daily, this is what you have. So this has been the major range because how prices reacted from this structure. Number of times like that, like that. So you have a push to the upside all the way to these highs and back down to this demand like that. That range is filled. A very strong bullish engulfing candle, then a slight retracement. So I don't see a potential rally. The first area of interest will be this structure at 47 to 50. Right, that will be the first area of interest. The structure at 47,250. Then from there we have, if price breaks above, we will be looking at the rally all the way to 48,640 areas right there, right? So that's what you have, and that is what I'm looking out for this week. So let's trade very carefully and cautiously because of the current ongoing geopolitical tensions. Anything can happen, anything can be mentioned, and any sentiment can be able to shift the market direction. Let's trade very cautiously. All right. So one more thing, I do have an episode known as Chats and Chill. So Chats and Chill is more of a forum for traders. It's more of like a hangout for traders whereby we get to do market analysis together. We have a progress of different trading journeys. Majority of the people in that forum for Chats and Chill are guys I've had from 2023, 2024, last and also last year. So it's something that is really grow. It's something that is I started off something that I started off some time back, and it's showing some good progress and good growth. And I'd like to have you all and invite you all into engaging in those sessions. So we usually have them on Mondays. Monday evenings. All right. We usually have them on Monday evenings from 8 p.m. And that is just not, it is not any kind of like webinar or things like that. It's not a webinar at all. It's not. Just like the name says, it starts and chill. We get to have conversations about trading, potential opportunities, probably what people are trading. Guys are trading prop firms, guys are trading their own personal accounts, the different progress that guys have made across their various trading journeys and things like that. So that is what Chats and Chill is all about. To get to trade together, grow together, and learn together, right? So I'd like to invite you also spread the word and share it. I will be talking more about it soon officially, right? I'll be talking more about it soon officially on when I'll have the next one. Most probably I'll probably have just like a one soft launch this week. Then like now the full launch from next week on Monday. All right. We are looking at having a potential partnership and sponsor. We're looking at potential partnership and sponsorship. I won't mention more about it. All right. But we are looking at potential partnership and sponsorship for that. I'm looking at having that as a very, very large movement for us traders, right? So there's a lot more in store for us, and there's a lot more in store for traders out here. It's high time we make trading professional again. We make trading cool again. Apart from what you get to see on socials, it's important we get to make it professional. Let's get to make it what it's supposed to be. So thank you guys. Cheers, everyone. Stay blessed and stay financially literate, and I'll catch you on the next one. So peace out.